This woman right here seems like she's more than capable, mentally speaking, and yet she fell for the oldest trick in the book and is now paying with her freedom. And she fell for this! I don't know if that's the picture used to scam her, but if it was... What the This lady in this video gave so much specific personal information that it's clear her brain works just fine. We have talked a lot about a good chunk of romance scam victims are lured with easy money, but here we see a case of what loneliness can do to someone so desperate to be loved.
See the big G on my forehead that says gullible?
Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and like the video. It really helps. Margaret is a woman living in Jacksonville, Florida with a gigantic heart. She worked for a nonprofit organization to help public libraries and literacy in the area. She was one of the higher-ups in the organization, and with her help, they raised a ton of money. During the pandemic, she started talking to this guy, Vincent Vesey.
Vincent Vesey.
This is what I mean. Is this picture used just to clown on the scammer, or is this the actual picture Vincent used to identify himself? Well, the relationship became romantic really fast. And you know what came fast as well? Vincent asking for money. She drained her bank account and even sold her house to give money to this meme, but she ran out of it. She had to find another source or else Vince would leave her. The only option she had was to take a small loan from her beloved organization that she worked so hard to build. In her head, she thought she would pay them back in no time. So she didn't tell anybody, and in less than a month, she drained the account. People noticed, people knew it was her, and people called the cops.
A lifelong librarian who was the head of an organization designed to help the Jacksonville Public Library finds herself tonight behind bars after being accused of defrauding the nonprofit of more than $100,000. Now, she has pleaded not guilty.
I began an investigation and obtained an arrest warrant for you based on activity with Friends of the Jacksonville Public Library. Okay? Are you aware of what that could be about? Mm-hmm. Okay.
The officer proceeds to ask for her personal information like name, date of birth, phone, and address, and she answers without hesitation. Before seeing this, she vaguely reminded me of Kay, minus the hysteria.
Shut up!
Kay's daughter said that she suffered a stroke, and after that, her mom was not the same. I thought Kay was suffering from dementia because of those crazy outbursts and irrational behavior. I still think she must have something like that, so I imagined Margaret was dealing with something similar. But after seeing how lucid she is and how well she's responding to questions from her past and her present, I scratched dementia out, and any illness actually. Well, maybe depression can be the main culprit here.
And what did you do with the Friends?
Everything. I was a volunteer, sorted books, packed books, eventually took greater responsibility, was a board member, became the treasurer, and then the president.
She fought to get where she was for decades, and in less than 1 year, she imploded her life to follow someone whom she had never met. Not only that, the fact that she had to move Earth to help him, but without reciprocity, is something I will never understand.
So particularly what brings you here, though, is withdrawals that were made on their account.
Yes, I'm aware.
To the tune of $120,000.
132.
What happened to the money?
I was scammed in a romance scam.
See? She knew what she was doing. She gave the exact amount she took from the organization. And as usual, the "I'm rich, babe, you wanna get married" was present here. I guess we cannot know for certain how much she was in for the easy money because we don't know the details of the relationship. But the scammer convinced her to jeopardize her reputation for love. Apparently, Margaret did her research on this Vincent guy and found out he was not real. She actually went to Social Catfish and found out the real Vincent, and it wasn't Giga Chad. Unfortunately, she found that information too late.
I had a request to become a friend.
Okay.
He claimed to live in Miami. He claimed to have a daughter, have been widowed for 3 years. He claimed to be graduate engineer specializing in oil cleanup.
Vincent made her download Google Hangouts, and that was their only communication line because right after he started talking to Margaret, Vincent deleted the Facebook account. Margaret documented all the communications with Vincent and called it the diary of a scammer. There she wrote down all the money transactions she made using Bitcoin, the amounts, and when they happened.
I took the cash, converted it to Bitcoins, and sent it off to where he had requested. There are a number of places in Jacksonville that have terminals, what you call them, and you get registered with Bitcoin and put in your password and start feeding the cash.
Bitcoin is another way of draining money from people who are not technologically savvy. Like myself, I have no idea how you can make the conversion and the transaction. And the fact that she was putting all that in a diary, why didn't she stop? Why did she have to commit fraud just to make him happy? She is homeless and now facing prison time. If she had that information, why didn't she contact the authorities or anybody?
Because you have a limitation of how many Bitcoins you can send at a time. It's like 1750.
Right.
My guess is that she didn't give the information to the cops because she thought that maybe he was real. What if he's real? What if she is ruining the relationship? This happens all the time. When faced with the truth, some accept and cut their losses, but others double down and refuse to see the reality with their eyes. I think this was Margaret's case. The fact that she couldn't show the police her findings because she was moving houses. Remember, she had to sell her house to give the money to Vincent and got so caught up in the moving that she totally forgot to expose the scammer and potentially recover the money.
He had a need for a large amount of money to be able to get his employees and him off this oil rig. I am a very gullible person, but I refused to go to the friend's money. It was a source of money that I intended to borrow, not to steal.
Vincent sent her pictures of a bank account with over $1 million in it, but couldn't access it at that moment, just so she could believe that the money was his and any transactions she will make will be paid back. He also invited her to move in with him at a beach house. Again, the easy money, easy lifestyle seduced Margaret, and she wanted it to be true. I just have to put myself in the nonprofit's shoes. Can you imagine how angry they must be with Margaret? She drained the account because her internet boyfriend needed the cash. A boyfriend? She doesn't even know what he looks like. A meme! Giga chat! And they are not getting the money back because Margaret has nothing. She sold everything she could and owes money to a lot of people.
None of this money that I acquired was for my personal use.
You chose to give a loan though, right? That's personal. You gave a personal loan to someone.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay, so I started this video feeling sorry for her, but the more I hear the story, the more angry I get. She was really thinking only about herself and her needs. Instead of Vincent, insert a drug, whatever drug. She sold everything because she needed her fix. It's an addiction. She's addicted to the attention she gets from a person she doesn't even know. And in her case, I kinda get it. She's a widow, and she does have family. She has 2 brothers and a sister, but according to her, they are not close at all, so she's practically all alone. One thing that I must point out is how calm she is, as if she was expecting it. She was worried about her phone being taken away from her and her medications. I will be covered in tears and in a frenzy, but as the detective stated, she stole that money no matter how you want to dress it up. She took the cash that didn't belong to her and used it for personal reasons. She got 198 days in prison, but apparently she served no time, so they slapped her with a 5-year probation. I know she's old, but to defraud a nonprofit organization from every single penny they had and spend 5 years on probation? What do you think about the sentence? What do you think about Margaret? I thought her story was going to be different, and in a way, it kinda was. We never get to know the other scenario, the what if they get caught. And as sad and depressing as it is, Margaret got what she deserved. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I would love to hear them, and I will see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.